Actually went through this exact same thing when I started my marketing career. I thought I had all the right experience and all the right education for any job I was applying to at least be reaching out to me, and I was getting no bites. And disclaimer before I start talking about my experience and what I did to start getting interviews for the positions I wanted, keep in mind that most companies are in a hiring freeze right now. People are getting laid off. The job market is not the best it's ever been. Right now, any big corporation is likely not hiring anybody, and if anything, they're laying people off, and so you're going to want to be looking for more of your small businesses right now to be applying to. Anyways, so when I started applying for places and I wasn't getting interviews, I was a little confused, and so I actually started going on career TikTok and job TikTok. Completely redid my resume. So let me show you what I did. Okay, so this is my current resume, except I cropped out my name and stuff because I don't want you to see that. First adjustment I made is I made it much more aesthetically pleasing. I feel like that's important when you're in marketing because you're making things that other people will appeal to and you're selling things, so you also have to sell yourself. So I made mine aesthetically pleasing by creating these 2 columns and also choosing fonts that I thought were aesthetically pleasing. I used to have a very basic, like line by line resume that everyone had, and I think this makes me stand out now. The first change I made is at the top I put marketing director, which is the type of title when I last made this resume I was going after. So I started by putting whatever title I wanted at the top, and then went in and made a 1-sentence short little bio. It has some adjectives in it, and then it also has the types of strategies and campaigns I've launched in my career. And my education used to be at the top of my resume, but I put it off to the side because my degree is irrelevant for the jobs I'm applying for. But I still wanted my 4-year degree or whatever education you have on there because it highlights critical thinking skills and things along those lines. And then have skills and then certifications, as many as I could fit into my resume. And then some of my more minor freelance and volunteer work. Next change I made was I put my job title at the top instead of the company I was working for. Then I implemented 2 strategies into my resume. Strategy 1 is at the first bullet point, and the last bullet point are the most important ones. Those are your 2 strongest accomplishments. They have to be first and they have to be last. Next strategy, go to Google and type in Harvard resume. Click on the first one that pops up and scroll down to this page in the PDF. These are all the words you want to begin your bullet point with. And if you compare them up with words that are in the job description, that's the trick. So for example, if the job requires you to publicize something, you would put in your resume, publicize X, Y, and Z for whatever job description you can. And once I started optimizing my resume so that it was not only aesthetically pleasing, but had a bunch of keywords in it that were on these job descriptions, I started getting way more interviews and offers. If I were you, that's where I would begin. And then I would also go on job TikTok and career TikTok because a lot of HR reps that are the first people looking at your resume give a ton of tips on what you should be doing in your application. And stay tuned for the last part and ways to begin your marketing career.